Snow and Lambeau, Coach. Something about that combo that just works, like peanut butter and jelly. And we've got half a foot of the white stuff and still coming down here in Green Bay. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the people. Here we go. Go to 54. Go to 54. Right. Check, Mike. 26.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Prescott from the gun. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. A killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
Prescott. Pass incomplete.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield, trying to hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
On 2nd and 10, Prescott. He finds his running back, Mixon.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6.
Here we go. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run now with Gaskin. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Gaskin. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hart. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Philadelphia.
Here we go. Here we go.
This is Gaskin on the carry. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. A free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
Wentz throwing complete to Arcega-Whiteside. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 28.
And an Eagle.
Let's go. Rip. Switch. Inside stem.
Wentz now on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Minka Fitzpatrick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down. Much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. It's no secret that this is a team that's built on passing, but as you always tell me, you have to throw the run in there every now and then to keep that pass sharp.
Yeah, you have to, because otherwise, if they never have to worry about running the football, it's just a controlled sprint to your quarterback, and eventually you're calling on your backup quarterback.
But they got to do better than that last go-around. They went in the wrong direction. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over.
Here we go. 20. Mike 50. Hey,
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On the handoff, it's Gaskin. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after 1. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Wentz. Completes it to Aguilar. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Here we go. Pac-Man. 180. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together. Rush in. Check 52. Kill.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Myles Gaskin, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play, end result, touchdown.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Looking to throw on second down. Prescott, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
And this might not be the last interception we see, Brandon. Both of these teams like to throw the football, but here in this snow, ball's not going to always go where you want it to. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. So after the INT, here's Wentz. Being chased out left. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Here we go, here we go. 280! Great. Tight go.
To throw again on second down. Wentz. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has really. They come up here now, first down. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Touchdown, Packers. Joe Mixon, 89 yards, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And they take the lead here at 7-6. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Here we go, back man. 280! Sunday! It's gonna be a long day, offense. It's gonna be a long day. Watch out.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And for the third time here in this half. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the slant.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Hey, here we go. Go right in. Right 54. Right 54. Come on. 26.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce and might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse.
Touchdown, Packers! James Washington, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They try to run on 1st down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Wentz. And his throw is going to be incomplete. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
54 is Mike. Check. 54. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 14 yards, good for a Packer 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Prescott. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Prescott. And the pressure gets to him again. Fletcher Cox able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This will be fielded at the 8. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now they'll run it on the toss. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Another run with Gaskin. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Let's go.
Throwing on first is Wentz. That's complete to Arcega-Whiteside. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Play action. Now Wentz. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Desmond Trufant, and he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 14. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, so much of playing quarterback in the snow comes down to trying not to do too much. You've got to just keep telling yourself, throws downfield we've run every day in practice all year. But guess what? They suddenly become more difficult. And this one gets away from him and winds up an interception.
He's got a first down and more past the 30. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. It's a gain of 35.
I can't help but laugh. And the only reason is anytime the backup breaks a big one like that, he's going to be hard to deal with in film, wanting to know why he's not getting started carries.
That's what he's thinking. Great carry there. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
On first down, Wentz. It's caught by Aguilar. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
And it's caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. An 11-yard touchdown. As his guys have cut the lead down to 2. And on this play, he just made a great route. The quarterback had to deliver it, sure, but a great route run there.
And, Brandon, this is what the best receivers do. They work on their route running because it's one thing to have athletic ability, but to really get open, you have to set up defensive backs with different routes and be precise in your cuts. They made the decision to go for 2. They didn't get it. They remained down by 2 points. Should they have kicked it there?
Third quarter, I'm okay with it. Maybe first or second, you don't. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, again, I keep coming back to I don't like to chase a lot of points, but I also don't know what kicking an extra point being down 1 does for me.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Then we're going to 53.
Prescott down. He's going to launch it for Washington. It got his man complete. Touchdown, Packers. James Washington with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes this a 9-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. On play action, Wentz. Throw left side complete. It's Hart. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Wentz now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Wentz. They'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wentz under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Right there. Straight 15. Straight 15.
Working from the gun, Wentz. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Give him 32 on the play. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Once again here on 2nd and 10. And the catch made by Johnson. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Back now at Lambeau. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's Desmond Trufant. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Prescott from the gun. Dancing to his left. Prescott stripped. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. Looking long for Thomas. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Ronald Darby. Thomas, the intended target. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, you're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
And then rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Shotgun now for Wentz. And now here's another interception. Kevin King with a pick. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Let's go, defense. Get out the field, defense.
Mixon with a first down carry. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Double up. Here we go.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Oh, no, he lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Charles, all things considered, I guess that's not a critical miss at this stage, is it?
No, but still everything helps when you're trying to finish off a ball game. And you're right, not critical in terms of the scoreboard and the team, but the guy with the golden foot, he knows he's only as good as his last kick.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Johnson the intended target, and it's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off around the 41. But he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Johnson was the intended receiver. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sideline, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. And, boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Well, they'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
It's 4th down.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3. But clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt. Obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off. But it's still ate up time. Got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better. and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
And we'll see if they go back to base.
There we go, here we go. Lead slide three. Hey!
On play action, it's Wentz. Got his man on the comebacker. That's Hart. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Wentz. His throw caught at about the 5. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. He got 29 yards that time. So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Blitz coming, and down he goes. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
No, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for Green Bay, it's an 11th win of the year as they'll finish the regular season at 11-5. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they'll limp to the finish line with a final record of 5-11. And this is a team that has a few good pieces in place, but